Welcome back everyone to Angela's Craft Room. Today I'm using the stamp set Vertical Greetings to make a card for you today. I've started to go through my collection of Stampin' Up stamp sets, and there's a few I haven't used, so I'm going to be using and doing some tutorials on those that I haven't already used. So today we're going to use the Vertical Greeting. We're going to have an acetate front at the front of the card. So let's get started. So to start with, I started off with a piece of cherry cobbler, which is 11 inches long by 4 1/4 inches wide, and then I scored it at 5 1/2 inches. So then I had that. And as you can see, I have cut a piece off. This is so we can create our acetate window. So I cut off, I work in inches, so I cut off 2 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And then out of that, don't throw that red piece away, because out of that 2 3/4 inches we cut off, I cut a piece that was 1 1/2 inches wide, and then it would be the same length, which is 4 1/4 inches, and that's going to go on the end there, and we're going to have our acetate window here. Now the acetate window I cut at 2 inches wide, and then by 4 1/4 inches long, the same as your card. So the easiest way, just pop that piece up there, the easiest way to join this is by using some tearing tape. So I've put a piece of tearing tape along there, so we'll put that piece on first. So the easiest way is just to make sure, I just like to line the end of my card up with my grid line, and you need to have it right on the end of your card. Just put it on as straight as you can, and that's the start of the acetate window. And now we need to apply this other piece, which was 1 1/2 inches wide, to the other end. So to do that, I just added a piece of tearing tape down one side. Just peel that off. Now that piece of tearing tape needs to go down on this acetate, but what I do is I line it up, the piece that doesn't have any acetate, I line it up with the end of my card, so it's going to be flush. And then just let it go down, and it will stick to your acetate. Now I find that's the easiest way to make your acetate window. And then what I did, I had a piece of Very Vanilla, which is going to go inside my card like that. So it's going to look like that. But we want to know where to stamp our image, so the image is going to be able to be seen through the acetate window. So to do that, I just place, what I normally do is just place it on the card where I think it's going to sit inside, and then I just make a little pencil line at the top and bottom, and that's going to tell me where I want to stamp my image. So I'm just going to bring in my stamp tool, Stamp Perfect tool. Open up the window. And the stamp that I'm going to stamp inside is the little heart one. Okay. So I'll bring back, actually I'll put it right into the corner. You should be able to see. Then I'll pop a couple of magnets on. Now I've got little pencil marks here and here, here and here. So we want the image to be within those lines and as straight as possible. Let me just press down. So I'm just going to stamp that up with some early espresso. Hopefully I've got it fairly straight and it's going to fit within those lines. So I'm just going to stamp that up with some early espresso. And I'm just doing it in one colour. Just press that down. And might just do it one more time. So it's got a nice crisp image. Then we're just going to grab my rubber and just rub off those pencil lines because they were just a guide. Okay, then we'll just remove this for one moment and bring this back in. And hopefully when we pop that back down there, you're going to be able to see it through the acetate window. So I might use the multi-purpose liquid glue because if I don't get it exactly where I want, I can always move it a little bit where the snail isn't as forgiving. So just on all sides. Like that. Now, it's going to pop that down and quickly before, just quickly before I wouldn't be able to move it. So I think it's very effective, isn't it? So then I cut a piece of early espresso and a piece of Daffodil Delight, which I'm going to layer on top of there. Now, for those that like measurements, the early espresso is 2.5 inches by 4, and the Daffodil Delight is 2 inches by 3 3/4. And I'm just going to apply that Daffodil Delight on top of the early espresso. So there's no magic about the sizes, it's just what you like as you go along, really. So that's going to sit on that side of the card, and what I'm going to do though, I've got a piece of very thin, very vanilla satin ribbon, and I'm going to apply a piece of tear tape on the back. So I want it on that side. Those that know me know that I don't put any adhesive under my lace or ribbon on the front of the card, because I find that it does show under the ribbon and lace a little bulk, or it just annoys me. So I put it my adhesive. I always use tear and tape for always use tear and tape when I'm applying my ribbon. So I just want it to catch the top of that tear and tape, and all I do is wrap it around my card, those that haven't seen me do it before. So it's fairly straight, and then just let it catch the tear and tape at the back, and I'll just run that down so the tear and tape doesn't stick to my grid paper when I turn it over. Like that. Then I'm just going to do a false, well, what I call a false bow. I don't know what the really term is. I just like to do this on my cards sometimes. And I just like to let the ribbon go where it wants to. I don't fight with it. You can just pull it as tight as you like. Twist it over a little bit if you want it to sit that way. Then I'm going to pop that onto my card there, and of course I'm going to trim a bit off. Like that. And that's going to sit on my card like that. You could put dimensionals under it if you wanted to sit it up a little bit more. So, but first, before I do all that, I'm going to bring in my Stamp Perfect again. And I'll just do up that glue for now, because I want to put a sentiment on there. So I think I'll do that before I actually put it on the card. So I've got a happy birthday sentiment. It's quite a long one from the Vertical Greetings stamp set. And I can just see you could use this stamp set in so many ways. Just grab a bit of, I just want to make sure that that is sitting straight. I do this sometimes. It's a bit crooked, so let's turn it round. I know we have the grid lines to line it up, but with some of the stamps that it just doesn't always perfectly straight. So sometimes it's good just to have a piece of scrap paper just to double check, and then you're not destroying a card. So that's a lot better. So I'll bring in my piece there. So I'm just going to stamp that up with Early Espresso. Just grab a piece of just a little cotton bud, because I can see there's a bit of excess on the edge of my stamp and I don't want that going onto my card. There. And then the good thing about this tool, the Stamp Perfect, it's just like a Misty, is you can reapply and get a crisper image if you're not happy with what you've stamped. So you can do it as many times as you like to get a good crisp image. So I'm quite happy with that. So we will remove that. Then we're going to bring our card back in and we're going to pop that on there like that. Now once again I'm just going to put some teared tape over where the ribbon is, because it won't stick, the ribbon part won't stick if you just have glue on that part, and I don't want my card coming apart. So we'll just get the multi-purpose glue out. I mainly use the multi-purpose glue. Sometimes in tutorials, just for quickness, I might use snail, but you've just got to be so precise to where you're putting your layers then. Then I like to turn it over and just press it down. Like that. Just adjust your ribbon. It's going to go which way it wants to go anyway. You can always slide it up and down. That's the good thing about the false knots. just okay, like that. Now what we're going to do next is we have a couple of more. I have a piece of early espresso that I'm going to pop on that side. Now that is just an inch, it's just a little over an inch wide by 4 inches long, and I'm just going to layer that onto there just to even out the colours on both sides really. So just grab my multi-purpose glue. And just going to pop it where I want it. I'm a bit pedantic about getting things straight. Like that. And then what you could do, you could add some pearls, which I think I might do. Just grab my tweezers. And I'm just going to put one there and then go the next size down. Pop a couple there. And then I'm going to do the same thing, coming back up the other side. Like that. So it just finishes off the card a little bit, and I might even grab some Regal candy dots, I think. So with the Regal candy dots, they come in the Regal colours, and this is Cherry Cobbler, which we've used on our card. And I might just put, thinking of putting 3 hearts across there. And these will just peel off. They're adhesive. I haven't pressed that down yet because Just want to make sure that I get them as straight as I can. Let's grab my tweezers. I most probably could have stamped the sentiment a little bit lower, but that's all right. That's why I just wanted to put in the 3 hearts. And because Stampin' Up make everything colour coordinated, it's very easy to create. And just won't go where I want it to go. That's okay. So that's the card for today, using the Vertical Greetings stamp set. And it's just a bit different having the acetate window, and you've still got plenty of room to write inside. But so I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial today, and I look forward to the next tutorial. So until then, happy crafting.